songs. How like being poets at an arcade, soaking moonlit falls on broken past inundated orb that we call home. And it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Just wanted to drop a quick practice report. Spring practice kicked off yesterday. Not a lot of information to cover as Tennessee did practice indoors due to the weather, which meant no media coverage. But something I did like, Josh Heupel mentioned in his press conference that he wants the media there. He said it was unfortunate, the weather. He wants media coverage there. I think he wants to create some hype and energy to this football program and fan base, and that is a good way to do it. But anyways, guys, let's get into it. As always, go ahead and smash that thumbs up, press it, hit it, like it just down below underneath the video. The little thumbs up, if you would so kindly press that. It helps the analytics of YouTube. And also make sure you subscribe because we're going to be putting out more content covering as much of spring practice as we can. JP is working on a recruiting video that's going to come out every Sunday throughout spring practice. And I'm sure the Indie Kid's going to be dropping some more videos as well. And also we are planning a live stream probably late next week, the Four Horsemen ride. Again, Dauber will be joining us for that. But anyways, let's get into it. Obviously, the big news coming out of practice number one is not really who showed up, who balled out, who looked explosive. No, unfortunately, it was about who wasn't there. Henry T. and Crouch weren't on the field, which not really a surprise. Maybe some of us, myself, can probably be included in that. We're hopeful that Henry T. would be out there on the field, but that just was not the case. Heupel once again talked about being focused on the guys that are in the building. He talked about accountability. But the big news coming out of week one is this. I'm sure you've all seen it by now. Josh Heupel announces suspension of freshman quarterback Kaidon Salter. This is from Saturday Down South, but it's all over the internet by now. Says that he announced that Kaidon Salter has been suspended and was not on the practice field Thursday as spring camp opened at Tennessee. This stems from a recent event at Stokely Residence Hall, including Aaron Willis, Martavius French, and Isaac Washington. Tennessee didn't name any players when it announced the suspensions earlier this month, but Salter was one of 4 players arrested on drug charges. Heupel said Salter did not practice and is suspended indefinitely. The thing about this is Salter's name was not released because he is a minor. He's 17 years old. That's why his name was not leaked out to the public. But this is just not good. This is not a good look. You can say, oh, it's not a big deal. It's just a little weed. It's just this. It's just a fight, whatever the case may be. We're talking about a kid. We're talking about Kaidon Salter, a guy that we talked about being a leader, a natural leader, and that swag he brings, that confidence he brings. Leaders don't put themselves in situations like this. And yes, I don't know all the details. The kid may be completely innocent and may be a situation of wrong place, wrong time. Don't be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Surround yourself with the correct people. If you are going to be a leader of this football team, this is not a good look. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think Kaidon Salter, I think these guys will probably be back, suspended indefinitely, so we don't know. We'll have to watch the timetable on that. But I think they're going to be back. We'll see how that shakes out. But when you look at this quarterback competition, and we've talked about it, basically since the clock hit 0 on the last game of 2020, this quarterback competition is going to be wide open. And I think this puts Kaidon Salter a little bit out of that race. I don't think as a true freshman you can afford to miss spring practice and come in and plan to start. But like I said, we'll follow that situation, see what happens with that, with or without Kaidon Salter. With or without him, this team moves on. Again, there was no media coverage at practice, so not a whole lot to discuss. Josh Heupel did meet with the media yesterday. He seemed excited. He seemed energetic. And he talked a little bit about the pro day that took place before practice and what it means for the former players and the university. It is kind of funny. He was talking about talking to the NFL teams and talking about the play. Like, it's like, dude, you just got on campus. So I don't know what those conversations looked like. But again, it's nice to see Heupel excited. He has a smile on his face. He has a positive energy. I like what he brings to the table. And that's something that he talked about a lot throughout the press conference. Very, very positive. Talked a lot about competitiveness and positivity. He was asked about position changes, and obviously it's a little early for that. He talked about how he wants to learn more about each guy's specific skill set, and then he fully expects to move guys around. And I think that is something that is going to happen. Some guys are going to be moved, look. Are they going to be happy with that? I don't know. But this team is going to need some help at linebacker for sure. But again, something that we will be monitoring, we will be keeping track of, and we will be dropping content, keeping you guys as up to date as possible. Again, I like going back to it and just kind of reiterating it. I like that he talked a lot about, the competitiveness and the positivity. Look, this team is coming off a 3-7 season. The NCAA investigation is looming. It's hard to get yourself fired up and ready to go. It is, practice number 1. So maybe that makes it a little easier. And that's also something he talked about. What's that energy level going to look like for practice 2 and practice 3? But I like that Heupel focuses on positivity. That's something that Jeremy Pruitt lacked. Jeremy Pruitt seemed like a very negative, miserable human being. I don't get that vibe from Josh Heupel. I get a natural leader. I think he understands what it takes to lead these young men. And, it doesn't matter how good you are with X's and O's. A lot of people talked about how Jeremy Pruitt was one of the best defensive minds in the country. That didn't work out on the field of play. Because no matter what you know about X's and O's, if you don't know how to lead, by example, it's not going to work out. I think it's funny because every time spring practice rolls around, there's always guys, and I had the clips playing there that the university sent out. A lot of guys are going to be watching these clips. They're going to be talking about how smooth Bailey looks or how Hooker gets the ball out quick. They're going to be talking about Tyon Evans. They're going to latch on to somebody. It happens every year. We're all guilty. I'm guilty. The Indy kid, JP Dauber, we're all guilty. We talk about who's balling out and who's going to be a game changer when fall rolls around. It's just part of being a fan. I'm excited that practice is underway. I'm excited to see how things are going to come together for this football team. Some of these guys, some of these kids on this program, they've been through the ringer, man. They have been through the ringer. I'm sure it's frustrating. You see stuff that fans say. It's tough. It's tough. But they're getting that chance to get back between the lines, do what they love to do, and that's playing ball. Playing ball. Like I said, guys, sorry that there's not a huge update. Again, it's tough to cover when no media has access to the practice field. But it is what it is. We'll do the best that we can. The next practice will be on Saturday, and unfortunately, the forecast once again calls for rain. So not sure how much coverage we'll have with that. We'll continue to drop as much content as possible. Again, don't forget, JP will be dropping the recruiting roundup on Sunday, keeping you up to date with everything in the world of recruiting. Spoiler alert, it's not looking too good. Not looking too good right now, but it is early. It is early. It's going to be interesting to see how the NCAA impacts Josh Heupel's ability to rebuild this roster. But hey, I think he's got some talent down there right now. So we'll see what happens with the investigation. But I think Heupel's got some tools to work with. So we'll see how it plays out. Also, again, just a quick reminder, planning to go live late in the week next week, maybe Friday night. Stay tuned. Follow us on all platforms of social media. The links to all of that is in the description below, as well as how you can support the show by picking up merch. Talkin VAWLS merch. We got some new t-shirts coming out probably this fall. So pick up the old stuff while it's still available. But I think that's going to wrap it up. Make sure you smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Leave me a comment. Let me know who you're getting hyped about in those opening clips that the university provided. But for the Talkin VAWLS Network, my name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
Bells, how